Hey, what is up, Facebook, YouTube? How's it going? Looks like we got Tony Campanovo in the house. What's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Um, so I'm getting a little weirdness with StreamYard. It looks like everything's kind of blown up, but I'm not sure how it looks on your end. So just let me know if there's any weirdness, and I'll do my best to adjust accordingly. So yeah, today what I thought would be pretty cool, we're always talking about Helix and Podgo or an HX device. So I thought it'd be cool to visit a product that was released earlier this year, that being DL4 MkII. It's a really awesome, cool pedal here. Now, from my preview that I'm seeing here on StreamYard, is it looks really zoomed in, but on my OBS it's not. So hopefully that's not what you're seeing on your end. Let me know what's up. So yeah, no, it looks really zoomed in. Weird. Okay, so just bear with me, and I think it should be all right. Tony, you can let me know if anything stands out. But without wasting anybody's time, let's just dive on into it. So with DL4 Mark II, as you know, it's smaller, it's lighter than the original, and it's just packed with so many features. It's so much more than just your average delay pedal, right? And it really just changed the overall perception of what a delay pedal could be when it was released in the when the DL4, its predecessor, when it was released in the late 90s. So really cool item here. So pretty much, if you're not familiar with DL4 Mark II, maybe you've seen it on someone's pedal board, maybe you've just seen some pictures on it, but you haven't really dived in and taken a look at exactly what's packed in here. I'm just going to give you a nice rundown on what we got here and how you can just kind of customize this pedal to suit your needs. We have all sorts of things like secret reverbs. We can add external foot switches. I'll show you how to access presets D, E, and F. As we see here, obviously we have presets A, B, and C. But there's a lot of stuff you can do within the global settings. So we're going to take a look at the global settings table. We're going to take a look at adding external foot switches and so on and so forth. So Sean Patrick Stevenson, you have one of those? Awesome, man. Very good to know. Hope it's working out well for you. And, if you have any questions for Tony or I, one of us will get to you, and, we'll do our best to answer your questions. So, starting off, as you know, taking a look at the model selector here, you have 30 delays total. So if you want the delays that you could find in HX products, the new HX, HX modeling delays here, those are all listed in white. If you want the classic DL4 Mark II delays, we just push the Alt Legacy button and it ignites green. And so all the green delays that you would find on the original DL4 on the original DL4, you can have access to those. And things like heck, auto volume, this is something I use every now and then. It's just so much easier to just turn this on instead of working with the volume pedal or even the volume on your guitar, right? So turn that off. Now we're back to HX delays here. If you take a look in the back now, again, like I was saying, guys, I know it's probably a little out of focus, but on my StreamYard, it looks really zoomed in. Like you can't see the power input on the StreamYard, but on my OBS, you can see it. So let me know if you can see what you can and can't see, because that'll give me an idea. I think there's some bugginess going on with the StreamYard right now, and so you should be able to see the DC barrel connector plugged in. Let me know if you can see that right now. And then that'll give me an idea on what you guys are seeing on your end. But pretty much for those of us that don't know, I know it's a little blurry, but we can kind of see past that. We have our expression pedal input. You'll notice below expression pedal input we have foot switch 5 and 6. On the original DL4 it was just for an expression pedal. We have the addition of the microphone input and of course stereo ins and outs. And some new additions to the DL4 Mark II, we have MIDI in and out. And then we also have our USB connection, a USB-C connection. This is for future updates and such. So it's always, as you know, with Line 6, we're always releasing updates for our products. So this thing, you can see it, but picture is upside down. Okay, let me know. Let me know how it is. Let's see. So you're saying this looks upside down? Well, picture is fine. DL4 is upside down. Interesting. Really? DL4 is upside down. Interesting. Yeah, I told you I was getting some weird bugginess with the OBS. That is interesting that the picture would be upside down. Let me see here. Picture layout. So it is upside down. It's not upside down for me, so that's what's interesting. Let me see here. Oh, it was the way I was holding it? Okay. Sorry about that. All right. Not wasting anyone's time today. Sorry about that. So, yeah, of course, we're upside down. Thanks, Tony. Appreciate it. Like I was saying, we have the micro SD card. Mine's not a... Sorry, guys. All right. So, as we can tell, we have the micro SD card. That way, if you want to expand your loop from 240 seconds to hours long, you can do so, and it saves the loop in memory. So, it's a delay pedal, right? So, yeah, I could sit here all day and kind of go through each delay, but we all kind of understand what we get from a delay pedal, right? But some of my favorite delays, within DL4 Mark II would either, be the vintage digital, the Cosmos Echo. So this is something that's really cool that I like with the DL4 Mark II. Let's say I go to preset B, okay? And let's hear how that sounds. I'll mute myself real quick. So a pretty cool delay there. So at this point, I have vintage digital selected, but I press preset B. So you may be wondering, well, that doesn't sound like a vintage digital delay. What may that be? And so to my ears, it sounds like a Cosmos Echo or a Roland Space Echo. And what I love about the DL4 Mark II is if I just keep turning through all the delays, you'll notice that the Alt Legacy button turns white briefly. So what that means is whatever is saved to the preset, the Alt Legacy button will ignite white, letting you know that's where the settings were. So if I were to go to repeats and just kind of move repeats around to find, oh, there we are. So this is where the setting is for that preset. So if you're ever in a situation where maybe you saved a preset or you really like, the factory presets that you have here, but you're just not sure what settings, what delays were chosen, keep that in mind that's why the Alt Legacy button ignites white, because that's going to let you know where you're at. So in any situation, maybe we want to do some vintage digital. And so keep in mind, I'm in preset B, so all the settings that we have here from the time, the repeats, tweak, tweeze, and mix, those are going to remain the same. The only thing that changes is as soon as you touch a knob and adjust the settings, that's when the change is going to happen. So even though I chose a new delay, the preset for all the parameters is still the same. So not much is going to change. I haven't muted my vocal mic, so we're going to have some room noise right now. So right here we have just a simple quarter note vintage digital repeat. Of course, I could change the repeat time with the time knob. And so on and so forth. But of course, I could always roll it back and I could find the preset there. So now I could just tap in my tap tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so now we have some nice quarter note delays. And so I could turn the mix down a bit. And just so you know, what I'm using for our setup today is I'm not plugged into any amps or anything like that. I'm literally just running into my HX Edit here. And I have my effects loop block. Now again, my OBS or my StreamYard is cutting off most of this window. So let me know if you can see the full block here. In my StreamYard preview, I'm just seeing the bottom of the effects loop. So if that's cut off, let me know. Having some weird bugginess with StreamYard, but however, all I'm using, guys, is a Brit Plexi Bright with an effects loop right at the end of it. So I'm just running this DL4 through my Helix just through the effects loop. We have the stream loop view. Okay. Oh, you have the stream loop view. Okay. All right. So that is some weirdness there on StreamYard. So what I can do is I can, move this down, and now you could probably see the whole window. I am not sure why StreamYard is zooming in on my stream here, but we will make it work. The show must go on. So you're probably really zoomed in. This is what I was intending for you guys to see. And so we could just do a quick focus there, and now we're focused. Perfect. All right. So yeah, we'll just make it work, guys. Sorry that StreamYard is being a pain in the rear, but hey, we will persevere. So, as you can see, tapped in my tap tempo. I have some nice quarter note delays here. But at any time you want some note subdivision stuff happening, maybe you want some dotted eighth, that's really my favorite go-to. We push the Alt Legacy button, and then you turn to one of the note subdivisions. So I could turn right here to a dotted eighth, and we could see how that sounds. And so that's how quick and easy it is to find a note subdivision. If we want to save that preset, I just push on the foot switch for about 2 or 3 seconds, and it saves. Now, Tweak and Tweeze obviously repeats is going to adjust our repeats, but Tweak and Tweeze is going to adjust certain parameters of the delay. Usually Tweeze could be the modulation of a tape delay, so you can hear the warble of some old tape in a tape machine. Tweak as well. Another fun delay would be the harmony delay, and that's where we can do a lot of fun stuff with the Tweeze. So let's see what I have now. So with Tweeze is it goes from, I can go all the way back to the key of A, and then by the time we get all the way to the end of the Tweeze knob, we're in G sharp. So what I can do is I'll just hit one note and move this knob, and you can just hear, you can hear the scales changing. You hear that? We went from like a major to a minor. This next key I get in is really cool because it gives you a nice octave. So you hear that octave there, you can do all sorts of weird stuff here. Weird, huh? Really cool stuff. So as we move through this knob, and I've just been hitting my an open D string here. You can do all sorts of weird stuff. So if you're really interested into just getting some cool sounds, some ambience, maybe you're looking to put some layers under a certain area of a song, or maybe you're doing like an instructional video, something Tony and I do all the time. It's cool having little background music that just kind of takes you on a little journey, right? So really cool stuff there. That's what the Tweeze knob does for you. So don't let the tweak and tweeze here go unnoticed, because you can really dive into some delays and get some really cool really cool stuff happening. And it's all with literally 5 knobs here, right? And no screens, no menu diving, no having to hook it up to your computer or anything like that to do some deep diving stuff. So all good, right? So I think it's pretty straightforward what we can do, right out of the box with the DL4. You choose the delay you like, you set the time and the parameters to your liking, and you can have all sorts of fun. So we get that. Now, a couple things I do want to show is how much power we have under the hood. So what we can do is, let's start off with presets D, E, F. So obviously, I brought this up earlier, when we look at the DL4 Mark II, we have presets A, B, and C. If you're someone that has multiple needs for multiple presets, this will be perfect for you. If you're someone who has a more complex rig, and maybe you have MIDI clock, maybe you have a MIDI switcher, maybe you have a whole system, keep in mind when you hook up MIDI, you have 128 presets at your fingertips. So you can definitely navigate around. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do a little school here. Now I'm going to adjust to how the StreamYard looks. So I'll move this around. Let me know if anything looks off kilter here. So this is the global settings table. We're looking directly in the user manual here for DL4. So if you scroll down to the bottom, you're going to get into the global settings table. Now with the global settings table, we are going to look for presets D, E, and F. Now presets D, E, F, what it does is it takes up the tap tempo. So you will lose the tap tempo when you enable this. However, you can connect 2 additional foot switches and move the tap tempo to a different foot switch. And so that'll come a little later. So let's take a look at the global settings table. For those who are new to DL4, or maybe you've had DL4 for a little while and you haven't experimented with this could be a lot of fun for you. So we'll move over to the global settings table here, and we'll see that, looking here, the selector knob position, the setting, everything comes down to the model selector and the Alt Legacy button. So the setting we're looking for is the tap foot switch assignment. And so for the tap foot switch assignment, we have to select the crisscross delay model, and then the color of the Alt Legacy button determines which global setting we're in. So obviously red with the check mark here is the default global setting, which is tap tempo, obviously. Now if we push the Alt Legacy button until it turns yellow, then we will enable presets D, E, and F. So let's take a look at that. So currently, to access global settings, we push and hold the Alt Legacy button, press tap, and then let go of both. So whatever the color is of the Alt Legacy button is what setting is currently set. I haven't really done anything crazy with my DL4, so everything should be set to default. So when we select crisscross, it ignites red. As we saw from the global settings table, red indicates the tap tempo foot switch assignment. Now if I push the Alt Legacy button until it turns orange, or actually yellow, that will enable presets D, E, and F. To exit global settings, press any foot switch, and here we are. So now I'm not sure how it's coming across on video, but now the tap tempo is yellow. So when the foot switch is dimly lit, these are presets A, B, and C. And then when the foot switch is pressed and the LED is brightly lit, we now have presets D, E, and F. So that's a quick and easy way to have literally 6 presets from a 3-button foot switch unit here. So if that's something that you're in need of, definitely check out the global settings table. You could do all sorts of cool stuff. So to go back, I'm just going to press the Alt Legacy button, then push the tap tempo. We see Alt Legacy button is yellow, and so I'll just press it again, and now it is red. So does the Dave here mention, does the Mark II replicate the slightly phasey sound at the outputs of the original Mark I? I haven't heard it myself. I know what you're talking about, but so far I haven't gotten that. It reminds me a lot of like when I played through the delays in in Helix, let's say, right? Like I don't get any weird out of phase stuff. The classic DL4 delays sound really similar, sound exactly the same because they are, but honestly I personally haven't really experienced or felt any way towards the sounds that are coming out of the DL4. I personally haven't caught that I haven't heard anything during development that, hey, DL4, the first version has this kind of out of phase sound. We'll make sure the DL4 Mark II has that as well. I haven't caught that. I haven't experienced that. Maybe another user in the group can respond to see if they've had that kind of experience, but so far, no. The delay sounds coming out of DL4 to me, just they sound perfect. So no, I haven't gotten that kind of slightly out of phasey sound, which could be, disliked by some, or, could be, wanted by others, right? So definitely good question, Dave. Thank you so much for joining us today. Appreciate having you in the chat. So taking a look at the global settings table again, things we can do here is add additional foot switches. So when we go right below the tap foot switch assignment, we see that foot switch 5 is assigned to expression toggle. And so expression toggle is literally the foot switch acting like an expression pedal. Foot switch 6 gives you practically the exact same settings as the foot switch 5 selectable options, but by the default we have squeal. So the thing is with DL4 MkII is that the expression pedal jack by default is set for an expression pedal. So if you go purchase some foot switches and you want to go have some fun with your DL4 MkII, keep in mind you're going to have to tell DL4 MkII that you're using the expression pedal input for foot switches. Now you have a couple options here. Obviously by default the expression pedal is what's set, but you can set it for a single foot switch or an expression pedal plus a foot switch or 2 foot switches. So to tell DL4 what's up, all we have to do is go back into global settings by press holding the Alt Legacy button and press tap. And then for pedal jack functionality, we select ADT, or the analog tape delay. And so taking a look here, we have orange is set for 2 foot switches. Now by default, you would see red. So you see I've already had some fun with this. So we'll just press this down until we get orange. And orange, as we see in our global settings table, is for 2 foot switches. So taking a look at the DL4 here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom out a bit so we can see everything going on. I'll refocus. Nice. So the foot switch I'm going to be using and talking about today, this little guy, I love it. This is the Mission Engineering TT2. Not sure if you've heard of this, seen it, but this is a killer, very rugged foot switch. And what's great with a TRS cable, I could literally just plug into one of the outputs and use both foot switches. Now there's actually a dip switch underneath where you can actually have one cable go to maybe one unit, and then then the left cable go to another unit. So you can definitely customize this for your needs. So this is what I'll be using today. And so all we do is we get our TRS cable, and then we plug it into the expression pedal input in the back. And so now I have my 2 foot switches. Now keep in mind, I could always set one of these foot switches to be the tap tempo. So if I wanted to do that preset DEF thing, I can set foot switch 6 here to be that tap tempo. So currently we are set to using 2 foot switches, as I see by the orange LED of the Alt Legacy button. So I'll just push any button to get out of that. And so let's see here what we got. I'll just go to a preset here. So since I'm going direct in just how everything is with these live streams, I'll show you a little bit of what I can do with like the squeal function, because if I let it go, it's going to get really loud. So for those of us who are using headphones or maybe some studio monitors, it'll definitely blow you away, right? So when you're hooked up, if I was playing in a live setting, studio setting, or whatever, it'd be fine. But I don't want to hurt anyone's system here. So by default, foot switch 5 is set to expression toggle. So this is going to react just like an expression pedal, and you can set the parameters in real time. So you can set your minimum and maximum parameters. So for example, I can make the repeats all the way to the all the way off, so I only have 1 repeat. So that's 1 repeat. Then I could turn expression pedal on, and let's say the maximum repeats I want, let's go to 12 o'clock. And then now I turn it off. So that's just one repeat. Maybe I'll make it a couple repeats. We can do that. If I wanted something completely different, we could also do time as well. So let's say I'll, for the minimum value for the repeats, we won't adjust that much. So this will be my minimum value. And this will be my maximum value. So as you can see here, nothing much is changing because I don't want the repeats to change. Maybe I just want the time to change. So minimum value, here we are with our delay. But then maximum value, let's say I want to make it a little faster. And you know what? Hey, let's have some fun. Let's just turn up the repeats. So as you can tell, you can move all sorts of stuff around that way. So I'll just go back to the preset here, see where we're at. Turn those repeats down. So now what Footswitch 6 is set to is squeal. Now squeal is where we're going to get some weirdness here. Squeal just turns the repeats to infinite repeat mode. And so for infinite repeat mode, this is where it'll get, pretty strange. And I'm going to have to turn it off. Now, this is a momentary setting, so as soon as I let go of the foot switch, the repeats will go back. So as you can see, it got really loud. So just keep in mind, these are settings you can do with your foot switches. Due to my setup right now and just using StreamYard, the volume becomes very, very loud when we do this. But keep in mind, if we ever wanted to, do the whole, preset DEF, I can go back into global settings, go to crisscross, press the Alt Legacy button until it turns yellow, exit. Now I have preset DEF here. And so if I want to change my current tap tempo, I don't have access to my tap tempo. So if we go here to pedal jack functionality, we'll go to Footswitch 6. What I can do is I could turn either Footswitch 5 or 6. We'll just do 6 for now. We'll turn Footswitch 6 to be the tap tempo. So we'll go back to our DL4, go into the global settings here, and then we will select dual delay, and dual delay is the Footswitch 6 assignment. And so currently it is set to the default, which is squeal, but if we want to use tap tempo, I'll just press this and press the Alt Legacy button, turns red. And so now Footswitch 5 is the tap tempo. So now we come back here and let's see, I'll just set the the note subdivision to quarter note. And then let's change the delay real quick. All right, a nice quarter note delay. Now I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, and now that delay is going to be faster. I could go slower. 1, 2, 3, 4, and now that delay will be slower. But currently, I have my tap tempo, obviously here, but now I have 6 presets to choose from. So if you're a user who loves using delay, you have a pedal board, regardless of its size, having something like this setup just really opens up the gates, for you to do all sorts of stuff. So guys, without further ado, I think that does it. Other than the one thing I didn't talk about, which is definitely something we don't want to miss or don't want to brush over, and that would be secret reverbs. Now, for those of you who may not know, this pedal is packed with all sorts of secret reverbs, and you could even turn the delay models down. You could even turn the delay models down all the way and use this just as a reverb model. And so let's see here. So Dave, maximum delay time on the longest delay. Now good question, Dave. They all have different maximum delays because since we're modeling all different kinds of delays, Different ones are going to max out at certain milliseconds. But I think the delay where you're probably going to get the most delay time would probably be like the digital delays, like the models of the vintage digital, crisscross as well. Things like the Elephant Man, which is a memory man, the Adriatic delay, and even the transistor tape, you're not going to get as long as a delay time with those because they're modeling literally those units. So, those did have a cap off. So, to stay true to the products that we model, you're going to end up with the same with the same delay time. So I believe the vintage digital is going to give us one of the longest delay times, and so if we were to go to the very if we were to turn it down all the way, let's see. There it is. See, nice and long. Now, if we go over to, heck, let's go over to a transistor tape, do the same thing. As you see, it's not as loud. Definitely not as loud, or not as long. Sorry about that. Multi-pass, we may have that may be just as long, if not a little shorter than the transistor tape. You see, and it depends which head we're using too. So with the that's with the multipass. I'm thinking with the Cosmos, because with the Cosmos Echo, you can choose which which head, 1, 2, or 3, or all 3 of them. And when I say head, I'm talking about the the items on the delay on the Roland Space Echo that are picking up the recording off the tape. So you can choose head 1, head 2, head 3, or 4. So that'll definitely make those delay repeats longer or shorter. So again, each one has different ranges in regards to shortest and longest delay setting, but I think the digitals, the vintage digital and digital model delays are going to give you the most range in regards to repeat time. And so maybe 5 seconds on that digital delay. Yeah, the vintage digital, probably something around there, Dave. Yeah, definitely. Now, before I let you go, definitely want to lift the veil on some secret reverbs here. So keep in mind, again, you have all sorts of different reverbs you can choose from. And when we look at the reverb models, you have everything from room to glitz. These are some newer reverbs we've released. But the tweak and the tweeze is what's going to, give you some more settings, some more ways to customize these delays for you. So, for example, if we were to look at one of my favorite delays being plate, the tweak is going to be pre-delay. If we look at plateau, tweak is going to be the pitch mode. And so, if you want, up 2 octaves and up an octave, or down an octave and down a fifth, whatever that may be. And then tweeze with reverb is just going to be your reverb placement. You could have the reverb set before the delay. You could have the delay and reverb in parallel, or you can have the delay before the reverb, which is one of my favorite settings. So if you wanted delay and reverb together, great. If you wanted just one or the other, you can do that as well. So currently I have this vintage digital delay, and so let's take a look here. And we have those long repeats. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn the mix down to that delay all the way. So now I don't have any delay. But if I push the Alt Legacy button and turn the selector knob, I can choose a reverb. So here's transistor, which if you look at the owner's manual is a plate reverb. And so now we hear that reverb. And so if I press the Alt Legacy button and I move Tweeze, this is going to affect the pre-delay, so I can make the pre-delay kind of long. And then if I press the Alt Legacy button and go to the mix knob, that's going to adjust our mix. So let's hear what we have at 50% mix. You could turn it up even louder. So as you can hear, we're swimming in reverb now, just to give you an idea. So I could literally just adjust the reverb to right here. And then I could bring in a delay. And so with the Tweeze, if we go all the way to the bottom, this is delay and delay before the reverb. If I press the Alt Legacy button and we go to 12 o'clock, this is the delay and reverb in parallel. So you can hear it's a really nice mix. And now for a more traditional approach, if I press the Alt Legacy button and turn the Tweeze all the way up, we now have the delay before the reverb. Me personally, I think that sounds the best to my ears. So definitely check that out. So let me see here. Let's do a little bit of house cleaning. So let's see. Trails. Do the reverb spill over when switching presets? So we do have spillover with the delay. With the reverbs, I believe those could spill over as well. Oh, what do we have here? Oh, I'm getting some weirdness on the OBS side. So with the reverbs, I'm not 100% sure if those spill over. I don't believe the reverb spill over. I know the delay spill over. Let's see here. Just double check in on that. Yes, I do not believe they spill over. That is a great question, Dave. Let's see here. Let's go, because I want to make sure I give you the right answer. The last time I recalled, I was sure that they spilt over, but I don't believe they do. I think it depends on if you have delay spillover as well. If delay spillover is activated, then the reverbs will spill over as well. I think that's kind of like a global setting for the delay and the reverb. So great question. All right, guys. Well, that's all the time we have here. I'm getting a lot of bugginess with StreamYard, not sure why. So instead of keeping you guys on the hook while I figure a couple things out, I'll just let you go. But thank you guys so much again. Much appreciated. Thank you for checking out our stream. I think next week we may have Ross Bailey coming up. But keep in mind that before we let you go, we offer free Helix lessons here. Now, again, on StreamYard, everything's cut off. But on the rest of my system, everything looks fine. So if I'm just going to move that there so you can see it. If you're looking to get yourself some one-on-one time with a Line 6 specialist, check out line6.com/events, and we'll get you booked, and you'll get yourself a nice hour for free to ask any questions you have on a current Line 6 product. Alrighty, guys, have a happy and safe rest of your week, and we'll see you on the next stream. Thank you.